You save a ton of money in pre-production. If you do all that groundwork right, the recording, the time you spend in the studio is like almost half. And if you own a studio and you are a producer, you make less money when you tell a band that, but in the end, he's right. It's better.
You make more money, but you still make less money somehow.
That's fucked up.
I spend a lot of time writing songs, so I also have a room. My studio is less. His is quite elaborate and beautiful, from what I've heard and seen photos of, and tell from the bands. Mine is less elaborate, but it's also set up to do everything but drum recording. I can make records there, but it's also because I'm like, you guys had Michael McCarty here. What, last time? 2 times ago?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. He's my publisher. He's been my publisher for almost 10 years. I owe a ton to him, and he will never advance me money to buy equipment. He never has since day one when I was like, I want to be a record producer, and he's like, I need to buy gear, I need to. And he's like, well, I'll buy you an acoustic guitar. So, wow, that's a good start. I already have one, but I need some microphones. And he's like, no. Just because the important thing is the music, Dan and I got to meet each other a few years ago when we were both in bands, so we both come from bands. I don't come from a studio. A lot of people are assistants in studios and they come up that way, but I come from the musical side of things, which is obviously everything I'll say tonight. You take that into consideration. It's all about the music. It always will be.
A lot of emphasis gets placed on if you have the latest XK5728597.
I got one of those.
Do you? Yeah. I've wanted one of those for years.
Great.
But who cares about the piece of gear, really? It's got to be quality, obviously, but that's not going to get you.
I'm also completely hypocritical because I go and spend all this money on like super expensive guitar cables and shit. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Directional things that cost $100 where they should cost $12.
That's a salesman just ripped you off. That's all.
No. We spend a lot of time thinking about these things. But the idea about that is having great equipment and great staff and great people around you, so that you can make great music. And there's nothing, at least there's nothing in my room that gets in the way. Like if I have a great vocal performance from the singer, well, it's going to be through really nice microphone, through great cables, through great preamps, compressors, EQs, into Pro Tools, to a nice A to D converter. It's all the things are there, so that the music can be captured. That's it. I love talking about it. It's a lot of fun. I tell you all about all the gear that I have. But when you're starting out, the most important thing is the songs, and always will be. And not everybody here who's a songwriter here. That's great. Who plays music who's not really a songwriter as well? Great. I'm a drummer, so I don't fit into any category of those. Not even a musician. But, it's really important. Like I would think it'd be hard to make records if you didn't know about instruments. At least a basic sense of when you hit the string, it vibrates, it makes the waves move in the air, and and how you shorten the string, it gets higher. Like certain basic things, but it's always coming back to that. We're vibrating air and making people feel. So if you don't know how to vibrate the air with your instrument on a good song, the rest of it doesn't matter. The rest of it matters if you have a great song played well, right?
It's weird to think that you make things air come out of speakers and you get money for it.
Magic.
That's deep.